The woman disregarded her family's objections. She quit her city job and came to the desolate mountains to build an estate of her own, living the pastoral life that everyone longs for. But her family, who opposed her, all said she must have been kicked in the head by a donkey. Though country life is beautiful, you still need to earn money to support yourself, facing her family's doubts and worries. In fact, the woman had long thought of a strategy to cope. Though still young, after years of hard struggle, she had already mastered many skills. Even in the wilderness, she could still support herself. So how exactly did the woman in the wild earn money to make a living? The woman's name is Mong Dao. Although she lives deep in the mountains without a job, she relies every day on selling various goods and still has a stable income. This kind of free and easy life, unrestrained and unmanaged by others, is like a little bird once caged, suddenly being set free, able to fly freely in the sky and forage in the forest. And today was another day to make money. Mong Dao called her cousin to come along to the fish pond her cousin kept, to catch some fish to sell. The fish pond had been transformed from farmland. The water was not very deep. You could see fish swimming happily inside. Mong Dao and her cousin each tied the rope on the basin, fastening it around their waists, so it would be convenient when fishing. Each held a basin in one hand and a fishing net in the other. They slowly stepped into the pond. As they walked in the water, the basins behind them also moved gently along with their steps. This unique tool and method of fishing probably many people have never seen before. It looked quite interesting. Soon Mong Dao turned around and carefully took a few steps. Both hands lift up the fishing net. When close to the fish, quickly raised the fishing net. A lively fish was caught by Mong Dao, struggling continuously in the net, yet all in vain. Happy Mong Dao laughed joyfully and reported the good news to his cousin. Mong Dao carefully placed the fish he caught into the golden bowl, then onto the plate behind, continuing with his cousin to catch more fat fish together. It can be seen that with their joint effort, each one caught a fish at the same time. This made them extremely delighted. Joyful laughter filled the fish pond. The world holds countless delicacies. Mountain and sea delicacies make people linger with delight. Among the folk, there is the saying, first fish, second meat, showing how delicious fish truly is. On the 14th day of the 7th lunar month every year, fish is an indispensable dish. Catching a fat grass carp, the whole family sits together, every time enjoying a meal. That scene is truly something to long for. Of course, when eating fish, one must be very careful, because fish has many bones. Especially when children eat fish, parents must be present. First, remove the fish bones, then feed the child, to prevent bones from getting stuck in the throat. Thus, this indispensable delicacy yet has bones. This flaw is truly regrettable. Fish is of extremely high nutritional value, containing high-quality protein, beneficial for human muscle growth and repair, containing vitamin D, which helps the body absorb and promotes bone health, rich in iodine and other minerals. And at this moment, the fish Mong Dao and his cousin caught were raised in a pond dug by the cousin herself, fed with grass, without any additives or feed. The nutritional value of the fish is even higher, and the taste even better. Nowadays, fish farming methods are ever-changing. Some people like to raise fish using large containers. The fish raised in this way, compared with the fish raised in farmland, they are less nutritious and don't taste good. Large centralized farms often use iron sheets to make them, but the fish living in the pond can better absorb the nutrients from the soil, so their nutritional value and taste are both better than the fish raised on centralized farms. In the past, when Mong Dao sold other fruits and vegetables, she always did it alone, earning money by herself. But today she chose to cooperate with her cousin. It was also a change of approach. After all selling fruits and vegetables every day, the competition was too fierce, and there wasn't much money to be made. But the fish raised at home could save on costs. Even if sold at a lower price, they could still make good money. With Meng Yao and her cousin working tirelessly, it didn't take long for them to harvest plenty. They cleaned up the fish they had just caught and placed them in a larger box. A big box of fish was impossible for one person to carry, but Meng Yao and her cousin worked in harmony. Using a shoulder pole, they lifted the box and hurried to the market. To them, this was the fruit of half a day's labor. Although the two of them struggled to carry the heavy box, inside they were very happy. Today was not a market day. The rural marketplace was still deserted. But they were not worried that the fish wouldn't sell. Before catching the fish, they had already notified many regular customers. And as soon as they set out the fish, customers were already waiting for them. Doing business in the countryside has the advantage of many acquaintances. Everyone knows each other well. Whether what you sell is good or not, others already have it in their hearts. If they like it, they will help you buy. If they don't like it, they won't force themselves. With the purchases from regular customers, the cousins' business grew better and better, and more people came to buy their fish. When family members learned that Meng Yao lived alone in the mountains and could still earn money in various ways, they also felt relieved. In this society, everywhere needs money. Rice, oil, and daily necessities cannot be managed without it. So never say that money is just an external thing. Without money in this society, you will not be able to take even one step. And people will laugh at you. When you experience society and the cruel pressure of economy, you will truly understand that material things are the foundation of survival. At present, whatever you say is wrong. You don't even dare to speak loudly, without any confidence. You are kind, yet you cannot gain the respect of others. Money can lift you from inferiority and let you live with more dignity. The money in your pocket is more important than anything. In this world, no one is reliable. The balance on your bank card decides your quality of life. So Meng Yao stays busy every day in order to earn more income. She knows that only by making money while young. If she chooses an easy life now, she will definitely regret it when old. Even earning a little bit each day is Meng Yao's guarantee and confidence. Taking a small step each day, relying on herself with self-sufficiency, is still better than those who dream of making big money daily, but only talk on paper. After being busy for most of the day, they finally sold all the fish. Meng Yao and her cousin also made a small profit, and each returned to their own home. Meng Yao is not someone who can stay idle. If she doesn't work for a day, she feels uncomfortable all over. After returning home, she changed her clothes and immediately started working again. The vegetables planted at home had already grown tall. They needed weeding and loosening the soil, mounding soil to help their growth. Time always passed unknowingly in her business. The next day was another beautiful beginning. After breakfast, Meng Yao again started her busy day. Today she had to plant a large amount of sweet potatoes and greens. After all, there were pigs and chickens at home that needed to eat a lot of food, and this food can be planted or it can be bought directly. After careful calculation, Meng Yao felt that planting sweet potatoes for feeding was still more cost-effective. It could save on costs. And in front of her homestead, there was a large piece of open land, which could be reasonably used. She quickly cleared the weeds and trees from the open land, lifted up the hoe, and began digging into the soil. The loosened earth was easy to dig. Relatively speaking, it was not too strenuous. Every time Meng Yao raised the hoe, she could open up another piece of land. Don't be fooled by Meng Yao's delicate figure. When doing such hard labor, she was no worse than a strong man. If you lose your job, but are healthy, don't sink into depression. Take advantage of youth to earn more. And learn from Ming Yao's fighting spirit. Even if not for your family, do it for your own future. When you grow old, lonely and helpless, and without money, how miserable it will be. Only then will you truly know. Planting sweet potatoes is actually very simple. First, dig each piece of land into a rectangle. Then on the prepared rectangular land, dig a long trench so that fertilizer and sweet potato leaves can be placed inside. Meng Yao did not buy chemical fertilizers, such as compound fertilizers. Instead, she chose pure farm yard manure, chicken manure at home, mixed with cow and duck manure, then added burned ash charcoal, stirring continuously. This green and eco-friendly farm fertilizer became the needed fertilizer for sweet potatoes. When planting them, the sweet potatoes grown would not be polluted, whether eaten by people or animals. They were all green and eco-friendly, but the mixed farm fertilizer was highly corrosive, so gloves were needed. Meng Yao then took the prepared farm fertilizer, evenly sprinkle into the pit just dug. The advantage of being young is having a good body, full of strength when working. It is often said the body is the capital of revolution. That really is the truth. The farmyard manure in the land pit is all prepared. So how are sweet potatoes planted? Speaking of it, very simple. Meng Yao takes the sweet potato vines already gathered up, cuts them into equal length sections of vine. Do not underestimate these vine sections. Plant it into the soil. Before long, many sweet potatoes will grow. For those who have never seen how sweet potatoes are planted, after watching Meng Yao's work, they will probably be able to plant sweet potatoes themselves. And at this moment, Meng Yao is steadily and orderly placing each cut sweet potato vine into the pits filled with farmyard manure. They need to be spaced a little apart. No need to be too dense. The process is simple and clear. At a glance, you can learn it. And the soil for planting is especially fertile, very suitable for sweet potato growth. Compared with red clay soil or harder soil. In loose soil, sweet potatoes grow more easily, and the harvest will be greater. After placing the sweet potato vines, move the soil from the sides back into the pit, covering the soil. The manure and sweet potato vines inside the pit are covered with loose soil, and on top half of the sweet potato vines need to be exposed. Watching the busy Meng Yao, one cannot help but give praise to her diligence. What is all this busyness of life for? Nothing more than the 3 daily meals. Do as much as your own ability allows, as long as your effort brings results. Improving your own life. Why care about others' opinions? In this world, there are rich and poor. Do what is within your strength. Earn the money you are able to earn. That is the best kind of life. And on the empty ground beside can also be reasonably utilized. Dig out some relatively large pits. Put in some farm manure. Plant the vegetable seeds already prepared. Before long, there will be vegetables to eat. No need to buy them. Finally, finish the work. Meng Yao can take a good rest while preparing for tomorrow's new tasks.
Chào tất cả mọi người ạ. Hôm nay chúng ta cùng đến với từ Mộng Dao ạ. Mộng Dao hôm nay sẽ dẫn chúng ta đi thu hoạch cá mọi người ạ. Mộng Dao và em gái của cô ấy hôm nay sẽ cùng nhau đi đánh bắt một cái ao có rất nhiều cá. Để sau khi thu hoạch xong thì Mộng Dao vận chuyển số lượng cá này ra ngoài chợ phiên để bán. Vậy những con cá mà cô và em cô bắt rất là chất lượng ạ, nó rất là ngon, tại vì cá này được sống ở trong cái môi trường nước sạch và được ăn những cái loại thực vật chứ không có các loại cám hay là thức ăn tăng trọng gì. Và khi cô ấy mang ra chợ thì mọi người dân người ta rất thích cái loại cá đấy của hai chị em nhà Mộng Dao. Mộng Dao rất thích thú khi bán được với số lượng nhiều ạ. Khi bán xong thì cô cũng mua một số loại rau để về trồng để làm thực phẩm chính cho những cái bữa ăn sắp tới của cô. Mọi người thấy video này hay thì cho mình một lượt like và một lượt đăng ký kênh để mình có thêm động lực để làm ra những cái video tiếp theo. Chúc mọi người một ngày mới vui vẻ và hạnh phúc. Cảm ơn mọi người rất là nhiều. Xin chân thành và cảm ơn ạ. Mọi người nhớ nhấn chuông thông báo để nhận thêm những cái video tiếp theo tới cái kênh ạ. Xin chào tất cả mọi người.